Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, I work in the Stardock, except with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very helpful. Thank you.
You're gonna be fine. Your first outing was solid. And, let's be honest, it ain't exactly astrophysics.
That's why I keep him around. Good pep talks.
Yeah, and the fact that I can pinpoint a helium deposit from 300 meters.
Not untrue. A shame we won't find any down here. But the metal deposits alone should pay for our own helium. Hell, after this, we'll have enough jump fuel to bounce from one end of the settled systems to the next.
Hey, more minerals, more money. And so the cycle repeats itself. Just no more unauthorized jumps in the house for room space, okay?
He's just a big baby. There are worse lives. Most Dusties don't even make it this far. I have a good feeling about you.
Group hug now or at the end of the shift?
One of these days, Hella, I am going to leave you behind.
Promises, promises.
Okay, let's see what we've got. How are we on time?
A little longer. Grab some samples?
Always. But not you. Check on Isabel. Make sure she eases up on the breach. I don't feel like getting buried alive today.
Roger that.
Remember, Dusty, keep your breathing steady. And never take that helmet off down here. Oxygen processors don't extend this far.
Yeah, because God forbid we drill on a rock with a breathable atmosphere.
Know what I love about working in Freestar Collective space? Fewer ranks. A job like this in the United Colonies? Reams of red tape.
Kill me. Wouldn't be able to think.
I think, it just, worldview plays a large part in it. And I've met some wonderful black people who are filled with light, But, that doesn't mean that they're our problem to solve. That doesn't mean that we have to sit there and babysit them forever. There's other low IQ groups that have done wonderful. So there's more to it than just IQ. There's more, I don't know, man.
I mean, Indians are really stupid, but they got H-1Bs.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. I saw Elon Musk talk about that today. Man, this is dark. I don't know, man.
Are we back?
Look, it's, war's coming, bro. That's really the truth. War's coming.
Race war or just...
Yes.
It'll be all kinds. It's going to be all kinds of war. It's going to be all kinds. And a lot of people are going to get their licks in. A lot of people are going to settle vendettas they were looking for a chance to settle, waiting for an opportunity. You know, and a lot of people are going to get hurt. You know, so this just, this just can't hold. This can't hold.
My favorite minorities are the ones that think racism is funny. The ones I have a problem with is when they can't, like, not only can't you talk about it, you can't joke about it. But I can get along with the ones that are able to laugh, you know.
Lord. Damn it.
I don't know if they'll be on my side in whatever this war is, but... You long mooded right now?
I'm just trying to talk a little bit.
You're good, man. Not here to... I'm not combating, I'm just asking questions, talking to you, but...
Like...
We probably agree more than we disagree.
Look, man, I don't... When did you get red pilled?
2017 is when I started. I grew up conservative, and then like 2015, 2017, I started becoming. I did like a deconstruction from Protestantism, became kind of a sliding lefty, and then kind of whiplash back. So 2017 is when I get red pilled.
That's earlier than me.
Need more scotch.
You need a little too red pill.
It was like probably towards the end of 2017. It was probably like October, November.
Check. What? My mic's so low now. My God, this always...
The thing that did it was I had a bad marijuana experience, and I was like, I gotta fix something. Because like I'm gonna either lose my mind or I gotta like start looking at things objectively.
You make your cut.
And that's when I started realizing I was just delusional.
No exceptions. Come on, pick it up. Troy, what's the yield?
Minimal at this point. Occasional glimmer, but it's weak.
What do you think? Stay the course?
No, ma'am.
I just don't know what there is to say about this stuff anymore.
Well, okay then. Let's go.
Like-
We don't have to talk about it.
And that's
Why don't you
my
go over to that
biggest
big
issue.
baby
Is
you
like
got?
I don't like,
Check.
you know, I've said it. This I've said a bunch of times. You know,
Check.
when I started my channel, it was because nobody was saying the things that needed to be said. That's why I started my channel, was because I couldn't take the fact that nobody was talking about this stuff. And so I was like, fine, I will. But now it's mainstream, and it's been done to death, and a lot of it is like,
Metal deposits are in that cabinet.
Get it.
I'll shout out
it feels like, what has it changed, man? Like, we got a bunch of people recognize that racial differences are real, and that people are most comfortable, most happy, and most productive and thrive when they live amongst
What do we
their
got
own.
there?
And that goes for all groups. And the only people that don't want that are the people that are trying to destroy us and that don't see us as humans. So like, you take a humanist approach, you take not even a humanist, you take an empathetic approach to people, and you say, look, y'all don't trust us and we don't trust you, you know? But that doesn't mean we hate you, that doesn't mean we think that you're scum, that doesn't mean anything. It's just, it doesn't work. And that's what, throughout history, people have been like, all right, so we're gonna go over here, you're gonna go over here. And that's peace. That's peace, you know? We see you as human, you see us as human. You're made in the image of God, I'm made in the image of God. There's a group out there that doesn't think that, bro. There's a group out there that doesn't think that. They think they're made in the image of God and the rest of us are animals. And they're the ones that want to put us in a jar and see if we fight, you know? So like, none of this needs to happen, bro. None of this, like, we don't need to be even thinking about each other like this, you know? Because like, I actually have nothing but love for every single race, like, genuinely. Like, maybe it's I don't know if it's a me thing, but like, how can you not appreciate things that are worthy of appreciation, you know? When regardless of where it comes from, you know? the thing that ruins your appreciation of other people is their lack of respect and appreciation for your people. And when it comes down to that, then all of a sudden, that part of you that loves, that part of you that sees another person and loves them for who they are, that part of you it gets pushed down because it's not reciprocated, because you're surrounded by people that resent you and actually enjoy seeing you suffer, you know. And so like, I don't allow myself to appreciate people anymore, yo. I don't allow myself to, you know, listen. Like, I don't listen to black people talk. I don't listen to black music. I don't do any of that because they're not allowed in my life anymore because they don't show the proper respect for my people.
Make black music.
You know, I still appreciate Japanese things because Japanese people have a sense of respect, common decency. But like, if you can't even do the bare minimum of showing us respect, then I'm not gonna sit here and give you my time, my energy, my attention, and bolster your value with my attention. Like, I'm just not gonna do that, you know. And so it's like, it's a choice you have to make. Like, you have to, you know, like in a relationship, when you recognize that people are using you, when you realize that people are sociopathic and that they lie, they cheat, they do whatever they can to get something from you, they mistreat you. When you realize that you're in a quote-unquote toxic relationship, well, you don't, what do? You sit there and you fix it? No. If somebody's toxic, they're just toxic. If somebody's effed up and has some narcissistic personality disorder crap, like, you don't sit there and try and fix them. That's what they're hoping you'll do. You know, and they'll strike you and they'll attack you and they'll treat you like garbage, and then they'll play the pity card. We've seen this in personal relationships. You see this in personal relationships with effed up people who will hurt you, make you feel like garbage, and then play the pity card and somehow make you feel like you have to solve them. Well, that's what black people do with us, man. That's what an entire race of people does with us. And when you meet somebody with narcissistic personality disorder, when you recognize what you're dealing with, you don't sit there and try and solve them anymore, because then you're playing into their hands. You get the hell away from them. That's it. There is nothing else. And that's why, like, my main thing, like, I don't care about IQ. I don't care about any of that. My main thing is they're not our problem to solve.
They're their own problem.
Hey, come on.
Yeah,
come
we're
on.
not their caretakers.
Okay,
bro.
take it easy.
And they're gonna attack you. They're gonna say all this stuff, and then
Well, you know what they're gonna say? Like, the smartest thing I've heard is like, well,
You know who you are?
you guys had a head
Recruit
start.
for Argos
You had hundreds of
extractors?
years of
Any
cohesion, cultural cohesion.
yeah, and then out the other side, of their mouth, they'll say, "Oh, we're the progenitor race. We've been here for longer than
We made
everybody else.
math and music, and we
made
invented a
white
telephone.
people." Yeah, it's like, yo, you can't have it both ways.
We get the best.
You're logically inconsistent.
best.
You're
Let me
showing
see.
your ass, bro. Because what you're really doing, what you're
How do
really
I do
saying
this?
is, keep treating me like a child. Keep coddling me. I'm going to keep throwing tantrums. And since I'm a grown adult, my tantrums have severe outcomes. But I need you to keep coddling me like I'm a toddler. I've grown accustomed to this lifestyle. I've grown accustomed to your bleeding heart propping me up while I spit in your face. Look, this is so simple, bro. Like, this isn't even difficult. This is straightforward. You know? Stop propping them up. Stop helping them.
niggas up.
They hate you. They hate you and they're using you. It's really that simple.
Bailey at $5 says, all God's creation is beautiful. And I think the weird thing about race mixing to me, other than, whatever, but it's like, if you appreciate blacks, if you appreciate whites, if you appreciate Italians, French, whatever, the thing that throws a wrench in it for me is Jews clearly wanting everyone to race mix and get rid of borders so then Infinite Pajeets can come in and brown everything.
Yeah, but it almost feels like we're in the post game at this point, you know?
Yeah, because of how many are in, or
Yeah, at least in Europe, it's like over, bro.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no. In Europe, there's like the British people aren't going to be here in 100 years. You know, with the declining birth rates and the invasion. Like,
yeah, and that really makes you think. Like I don't want that on my worst enemies. I don't want to see them wiped off the map. You know, I
yeah,
don't want to see them utterly destroyed. I don't even understand that mentality. And that should
um,
tell you how incompatible we are with these other
how
people.
should we make her body?
You know, because no part of me wants to see another race erased.
Like, you know, when
right.
games
The
are like,
parable of the
create your
wedding feast, like
profile.
you know, Christ saying,
Yeah, Avatar.
go
that's
tell
the
all
word.
the people that are supposed to come to the wedding that they can come, and they kill Christ. Obviously, it's a parable about the Jews, but then go on the highways and invite anyone you see, have them come, and they invites all these different people, the Gentiles. And then one person's there and doesn't have a wedding garment, but he was invited. So they bind him up and cast him out into darkness.
Like, I was going like full on SJW
That's like a
style, like
image
just
or
a
analogy
fat
of what's
fucking whore.
happening here, right? With race mixing, like if you don't have a
Social
standard, if you don't have a
justice
thing,
warrior.
if white is totally mixed with everything else, if all the colors are mixed together, you get brown. You don't get differentiating distinctions between races. You know, if everyone was just people don't naturally people don't,
shit.
on average
Fucking
naturally
hung up
want to
on
race mix. They want to be with their own and right. And if you
bad.
appreciated the other group, if everyone mixed, there wouldn't be the other group. That's what I'm saying. Makes sense.
Well, let's see if we can do this.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. You know, like I don't understand the analogy to
Have you?
Well, because
Wedding
it's
garment.
Oh shit! No, I don't.
well, it's talking about like purity. It's the same kind of thing. If you have like
yeah,
a
but
men's-
that's equating whiteness with
Monster.
purity. Right?
Like, this is
Well,
like
no,
really actually a pretty good,
not no, I'm not
God.
saying that
I
exactly,
gotta show you
but
this
it's like
shit right
saying like a body or something. Like as soon as you have
here. A
other
blonde?
things enter into it, it has to integrate or it's going to change what the
They're
body is.
either
Like if you have a
good
men's
or
group
bad.
and somebody brings a wife. Well, if there's a one wife there, it's probably still a men's group.
Blondes
But if everybody
break
brought
logic.
those wives, it's no longer a
No,
men's
one
group,
wife
right?
is no longer a men's group.
You think
that's
so?
it. It's over. It's
So
over.
could that be the purity of that? But I think there's some things that could integrate a little bit, but at a certain point, like if I invited you over to the
I just say be careful not to stretch things into parables. Be careful not to try and justify
We got all
what we're
kinds
dealing
of
with in the
niggas
real
here.
world through by trying to like pair it with some Christian doctrine. Be careful with that. I would never I wouldn't do I would be super careful about doing something like that just because it's like, yo,
That's a good face.
that I don't know, that's dicey, bro. That's dicey. Like what I'm saying is true. You know,
True.
what I'm saying is true, but
True,
if I sit
that
here
is
and I
true.
say, "Oh, it's
So-
what's the last thing you said? You said something at the end there.
like if you have a group dedicated to one thing, but it becomes
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know
if
any
you try and
places
be like,
that's for
okay,
me. I
well,
get
you know, this is like that, then
Go to.
I don't know. Like I agree 100% with what you're saying. I just don't necessarily agree with the There's two elements I don't agree with. One, I'm
True.
personally trying to be careful
But like
about
this is
connecting
thin.
what I'm
okay?
saying
So
to
this is
something
like all the way
biblical because
thin.
That's
It's thin,
I know that
and I don't know.
what I
Get-
do
ugh.
and what I say comes from my fallen nature. I know that, you know. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. I am
Or
right.
like we should just
but
make her like heavy.
It does sometimes come from my fallenness, and I'm not gonna. I would risk my soul if I
Yeah, she's thick
unduly
right there.
credited my
She's
opinion
just-
to something from God.
No, you look like a
I would
tranny.
be risking my soul. And the other thing is the idea of like, oh well, if you appreciate people, if you appreciate this type
Maybe
of
like
person or this type of person,
somewhere
then why do
in
you
the
want them
middle
to
of
mix
muscular.
up? That's like, who's that Jared dude? That American Renaissance dude? It's like that. It's like it's too. To me,
Alright.
it's too like mealy mouth. It's like, oh, you know, well, I
Yeah.
appreciate everyone.
I'm
Don't you
streaming
want
right
everyone
now.
to thrive? It's like, you know, it just comes from a.
No, we can change that skin tone. No,
It
I don't
comes
want
from
you
a.
any darker.
It comes from a liberal
head shape, no
mindset
hair.
to a degree.
We'll
This
see,
idea
yeah.
that like, let me try and appeal
Oh,
to
that's
your empathy on why you
hairstyle.
shouldn't destroy us.
Yeah,
Like
you
F that,
fucking
man. It's,
fucking-
if that's the case, then we're past words. If that's the case, then you ain't got it. You know, so there's this
And
sort
then,
of approach
actually,
to that like I don't F
I
with.
don't
Who's that?
know.
Jared, whatever.
That's
I don't
not
remember his
bad.
name. That Jared guy. I don't F with that.
What's
Yeah,
he
I
do?
know.
I don't know. Anybody know
what's his
Jared?
I think we'll just stick with that one. Then we'll just
American
change
Renaissance.
hair color.
American Renaissance.
No,
and I probably
black.
spelled that perfect. Dang it, one N.
Italian and
Jared.
you can't even spell Renaissance? That's like what you guys think was.
Yeah, I think the brunette.
What's the guy's name?
Yeah, golden brown's good. Eyes. I don't know what that is. Eye color. I don't know what that is.
Jared something. Jared.
Oh, shit.
American.
Jared Taylor?
Yeah. It's that. It's this sort of. It's like.
Is that not
pleading.
gay Jared?
No, I am
what?
live right now. You're live on the
Get
show.
out of here, yo.
You are.
Sorry. My wife tried to talk to me. Look. That sort of.
Welcome.
It's pleading. When you're trying to make a case like we should be allowed to exist, what? You don't want different. You're appealing to an empathy that doesn't
I'll text
exist.
you later. All right, cool.
You
I
feel me?
was.
Well, I don't know, but that's.
I was doing like the Paganoian thing, you know, like seeing like a parallel between two things or whatever.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying though. It's like.
I understand the point you're making that like if they obviously don't have empathy,
fuckers
appealing
do
to
that,
empathy is just gonna work against you.
Yeah, you're appealing to an empathy that
This is a
doesn't
good
exist.
one.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It-
Have you
it's crazy.
Background.
have you read this? I just finished this yesterday.
I don't know.
can't
I don't
see.
know what any of
On
this
Resistance to Evil by
is.
Force.
Who wrote that?
Ivan Alexandrovich Ilyin.
When?
Last century. He was a kid, I think, when the Bolsheviks took over. I want to say it's him doing like a scathing critique of Tolstoy,
Stress me out. Gangster.
and also giving a like
fucking gangster bitches.
incredible synopsis and it's very detailed of the orthodox view of force, personal force against personal enemies, state force.
Maybe we'll do that.
Subdivides it into
I don't know.
coercion, personal coercion against other people, and how there's a spectrum of force, and that he also distinguishes between sin and unrighteousness, which was a little like odd to me at first. But I read another book today called The Sun Lilies, and it really like, well, okay, I understand that now.
Yeah, maybe
So you can be unrighteous without sinning.
save the video.
Like,
games
righteousness
for a little
would
bit
be
later, but maybe
you
we'll
are
just
loving God and loving your neighbor, right? Like you are in the
something
right
that needs to get
relation
fixed.
between the different peoples, the different entities or whatever, nature and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's somebody who has evil intent, somebody wants to destroy you, destroy your family, destroy your homeland, you have to step into unrighteousness without sinning to destroy them with force. That's not sin, but is unrighteous because it's not a.
Yeah.
The right relationship would be that you actually can be in communion in some way.
You know, I always say, you know,
I feel bad for Tony. He has a losing
And I hope I'm right.
position. It's gonna be a losing
You know,
position, dude.
that the greatest love you can have is laying your life down for your brother.
Yeah.
To me, an extension of that is defending your people, defending your loved ones, and
Yep.
not being, not laying down and letting them be killed. Like I don't think laying down your life for your brother means laying down so that your enemy can step over you and kill your brother.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
like the Tolstoy was like
God,
me when I was
that line
17. He
has
was a
scared
pacifist,
me.
and he thought that was the most Christian thing you could do. But he makes the good argument that actually ends up you condoning and participating in the evil that you are not.
I think that's what I think. I agree.
Yep.
I agree 100%. You know, you have to be a man. I don't know when, like, I think, you know, I don't think that the problems that we're having right now happened before the Reformation. I don't think this pacifism, you know, weak chin BS happened before Protestantism. I think they misinterpreted everything and they're like, oh, what the Bible's teaching you is don't be a man. What the Bible is teaching you is don't stand up for what's right. What the Bible is teaching you is everybody just die. And it's like,
well, it's saying that like
you're
God's
saying
will.
that after 500 years of usury and protection from your enemies.
He makes the argument that if you are a pacifist, non-resistant type, and you think that, well, it's just God's will that this person's destroying me and my family and everything I love, you'd have to say it's like that God wills that's God's intent. You'd have to say that God is evil, essentially, because he's willing for there to be evil without any resistance to it.
It's assuming we're not a participant. That's assuming we don't have. It's Protestant as hell, bro.
Oh yeah, well, he says if you are non-resistant to evil, then you inevitably participate in it. You become a participant in the evil.
Yeah.
That's actually a good question that goes into the next thing.
You know, I think there's this weird thing, man. This really is Protestant, bro, because there's this weird thing where it's like the guidelines and the rules all of a sudden supersede the truth, you know? And like you've heard stories of monks being like, we're going to tell a small lie and God will forgive us because, like in the life of St. Porphyrios, we're going to tell a small lie and God will forgive us so that this young boy could become a monk at a young age. You know? That's...
Or there's like at least two or three women that put on fake beards and went to Manathos, and nobody found out. Like, the end of their lives.
Or people that said they weren't hiding Christians, you know, or they weren't hiding people, like, you know,
Right. So I would say that's a distinction between unrighteousness and sin. Like, it wasn't a sin that they were doing, but it was unrighteous because...
No, it was in that situation, it is a sin, but it was righteous. Isn't that weird?
I'm trying to think of reading this book and the other book I'm reading that talk about righteousness and sin and unrighteousness. They would essentially describe that if you're doing something like lying, that'd be unrighteous because the right relation would be that you're being truthful. But I would say it's not a sin because it was something that was necessary. That there was no... Because in resistance...
I would say the opposite. I guess I disagree with this dude because it is a sin. It's technically a sin, but it's in the name of righteousness. If you're lying to some Gestapo to protect, you know, an innocent person...
See, I didn't note it up. Maybe I can find it so I can...
I remember my mom saying this to me, and it always, like, I've just always sat with it. She was like, if I was put on stand and I had to testify against you, I would want to protect you, but I wouldn't. She's like, if I put my hand on the Bible and you did a crime, I would testify against you. And I'm like, you know, that's real. Black people don't do that, but, you know, I respect it.
No.
Also,
black
you know,
people do that. You fucking idiot.
But there is this sort of when we enter these circumstances, I think, you know, what we're living with right now is very not ideal. It's about as far from ideal as it can possibly be.
Right.
And you're going to run into a lot of confusing situations. You're going to run into a lot of situations where you're not entirely sure what you should do. And you have to rely all the more on the grace of God, you know? You have to recognize within yourself, you know, because I talk about this all the time. We all have this innate...
Looks like we're doing a construction stream.
Say you sin. Say you sin.
We're doing a construction stream.
You know?
You guys are going to see how we build this.
Or not.
Fucking hell,
Ask for forgiveness. You know what I mean? Let God decide. He's a righteous judge. He sees all. He sees tears that haven't even formed. You know?
I will hold you accountable.
trust that as righteous as you think you are, he's infinitely more righteous. And he sees everything that's going on in you, you know, and he sees the turmoil. So, you know, I pray that we don't have to see situations like that. I pray that something miraculous happens and all of this chaos that we're currently living in dissipates. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think we're going to have to go through it, you know. That's what my song was. That's what Pulse is about. That song that I released it a couple weeks ago, but the music video I released today. That's what it's about. It's like we have to act. You know, we can't sit on the sidelines and hope it's going to work out. We have to move through this. We live in an age of chaos, so we have to move through it and move through it without letting it change you. That's the only way forward. Because if you become the chaos and fighting it, then when the chaos finally settles, who's there to restore things to order? You know, you have to be that order. You have to be that righteousness. Even if it means you make mistakes, you know. Yeah. The rest of the world isn't owning up to their mistakes, bro. They're not. They're making excuses.
In the book, he talks about the like prerequisites to be able to use force to resist evil. He talks about like being able to actually see evil and like correctly see it, because if you're fighting something that's not evil, like you're a moron essentially. But so that's one of them. And then internal struggle towards the good, fighting against your own inner evil, is a prerequisite to be able to go fight evil with force. And he talks about, I can't remember the saint, but there's a saint that went